Well, good afternoon and welcome to Splash La Mirada Regional Aquatic Center for Game 1 ever. First home match for the Biola University men's water polo team. My name's Neil Morgan. I am thrilled to be able to bring you this contest here today. We're just a couple of seconds away from doing our on-deck introductions. I'll go ahead and leave this mic unmuted so you can hear our PA announcer, John Sherrard, doing those announcements for us. But just to set the stage for you a little bit, as I mentioned, first home game in program history for these Eagles. They're going to be facing another first-year program, the Westcliff Warriors. This is actually the second meeting of the season between these two teams. They met 2 weekends ago out in La Jolla, where it was the Westcliff Warriors taking a 10-7 victory over the Eagles. The hard time for Biola is converting on the power play. The Eagles went just 2 for 8 on their 6-on-5 opportunities in that game. They've definitely been working on that over the last 10 days in practice, so we'll hopefully see an improved number in that category for Biola in this one as they look to turn around and knock off the Warriors for the first win in program history. Biola, of course, coached by Rick Nordell. Nordell came to Biola this last year after a 26-year career at Golden West High School, where he led the varsity program from 1995 to 2015. He also led South Valley Water Polo Club up north. When he was at Golden West, he led the team to 7 league championships and a pair of California Central Section championships. 2015, his team got elevated to Division I and won the championship in its first year there, earning him the Fresno Bees Water Polo Coach of the Year award. 2016, a year in the Bill Barnett Distinguished Coaching Award from USA Water Polo. And for the last year and a half, he's been building this program here at Biola. It'll be really exciting to see these 18 guys in the pool for the first time here today. We'll get you a little bit more information when we come back after pregame introductions.
Welcome to Splash Aquatic Center, just across the street from beautiful campus of Biola University for today's first home water polo match in school history between the visiting Westcliff Warriors and your Biola Eagles. The officials for today's contest are Dermot Lopez and Andrew Gates. And now here are the starters for both teams. First for the visiting Warriors. In goalie, sophomore, 6'2" goalkeeper, number 1, Roberto Pereira Sanchez from the University of Guanajuato. A freshman, 6'6" driver from Houston, Texas, number 2, Colin Moore. A 6'2" freshman center, number 3 from Belgrade, Serbia, number 3, Jordan Mitrovic. A 6'2" sophomore attacker from Diablo Valley College, number 5, and captain Casey Hammond. A 6'0" freshman driver from Johannesburg, South Africa, number 7, Callum Norman. A 6'3" freshman defender from Naples, Italy, number 8, Luca Silvestri. A 5'10" junior driver from Stuttgart, Germany, number 10, Vincenzo Iguanta. And your head coach, Preslav Chipov, in his first season and assisted by Rainey Rami. That is your Westcliff Warriors. And now for your Biola Eagles. A 6'6" freshman goalkeeper from Ukaipa High School, number 1, Mitchell Carpenter. A 6'0" sophomore utility from Hillcrest High School in Riverside, number 2, Dominic Hidalgo. A 5'11" freshman center from Ukaipa High School, number 4, Luke Franklin. A 5'11" freshman from Lacerna, number 11, Nolan Rapp. A 6'2" sophomore attacker from Great Oak High School, number 13, Kenny Wolf. And 5'11" freshman driver from Martin Luther King High School, number 15, Will Tibbetts. 6'3" sophomore driver from Portland, Oregon, Reynolds High School, number 16, Maxwell Osborne. Your head coach in his first year, Rick Nordell, is assisted by Salvador Orozco and the goalie coach, Anna Miroslave. Well, at this time, whenever all the fans, please rise and join us for a word of prayer, followed by the playing of our national anthem.
I can pray if you want. Oh, you got it, Lena?
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day that you've given us to come together and play the sport of water polo. We are so grateful that we get to play our first home match in this program's history, and we pray that everyone out there stays safe and free from injury and illness on the course and outside the course as well. We pray that you have your hands on everything that goes on in the pool today, that everything that happens in and out of the pool goes for your glory. We pray for traveling mercies as Westcliff returns back home after the match. And again, we thank you for this beautiful day to play some water polo. Amen.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it, folks. History about to be made here at the La Mirada Regional Aquatics Center. You heard the starters for head coach Rick Nordell in the goal. It's number 1, Mitchell Carpenter, the big 6'6" freshman out of Ukaipa High School. Out in the field, he'll have Dominic Hidalgo Valesio, Luke Franklin, Nolan Rapp, Kenny Wolf, Will Tibbetts, and Maxwell Osborne. For the Warriors of Westcliff University, it's Roberto Barrero Sanchez getting the call in goal. Colin Moore, Jordy Mitrovic, Casey Hammond, Callum Norman, Lucas Silvestri, and Vincenzo Iguanata for Coach Preslav Jipov. As we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, these two teams squared off down in La Jolla. It was Mitrovic who drew 3 exclusions, had a goal and an assist, along with Lucas Silvestri, who scored 4 times and had another assist, and Vincenzo Iguanata, who scored a hat trick that led the way for the Warriors, who outshot Biola 30-21 en route to the victory. Head coach Rick Nordell and his guys will be hoping for a different result here as they're still seeking win number 1 in program history. There's a good look at the team as he rallies the troops before they hop in the water for the first time here out in La Mirada. If you're not familiar with water polo, we've got 4 8-minute quarters due up in this one. Every quarter begins with a sprint where the 6 field players line up on each lane line. Player closest to us will be sprinting to the center of the pool to win the first possession for their team. Looks like it's going to be Will Tibbetts doing the sprinting for Biola here in this first go-around. Tibbetts has won 4 of the 9 sprints he's attempted for Biola so far this season. Can't see the number just yet. Looks like it's number 2, Colin Moore, sprinting for Westcliff.
Here we go. Westcliff versus Biola.
And they are off. Right here along this near wall, we'll see who gets the sprint. It looks like it's going to be Moore coming up with it for the Warriors. They're going to pass it back up top to point. That's Silvestri bringing it down. Silvestri tosses it off to Norman, who's going to switch it over to the other side. Back up top, Tibbetts is pressing. No foul called yet. He's able to push Norman all the way back before a turnover as the ball gets over to Hidalgo Valesio, then tossed back to Mitchell Carpenter. Nolan Rapp rolls out and receives the pass from his goalkeeper. Passes it back to Hidalgo Valesio, who finds Osborne right center. Osborne can't quite hold the wet pass, and the ball is taken over by Barrera Sanchez. Barrera Sanchez gets it down to Iguanata, who clears it over to the other side. Moore works the ball back up to Norman. Norman up to the point. Walking it in is Hammond. They try to set it in hole. Mitrovic tried to spin around there, couldn't quite handle it, and Carpenter comes down. Once again, he opens it up with Rapp. Rapp tries to draw a foul. Instead, he finds Valesio wide open, who takes a shot, and it's saved by Barrera Sanchez. Throughout the course of the day, we do have a shout-out email. If you want to let us know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for, send an email to eaglesbroadcast@gmail.com, and we'll go ahead and read that over air. That's Moore with the ball. He's looking to see if he has some space. Has nothing, has to clear it back to Hammond. Trying to draw a foul there is Silvestri. He finally gets one, and he's going to shoot it right away, right into the awaiting arms of Mitchell Carpenter. Carpenter comes into this one with 44, now 45 saves through his first 4+ matches. A lot of good opportunities open center for the Eagles so far. That's Tibbetts working on it. He skips it in, and Biola gets the goal. Nice job by Tibbetts to just open up there and fire it right past the keeper, and Biola has the lead. Biola never led in the last matchup against Westcliff. It didn't get its first lead in program history till its final match last time out against Pomona Pitzer, where it led 3-2. Foul called there. That'll open up some space for Iguanata. He passes it over to Norman. Norman tries to get it to this right side. Hammond comes up. Foul is called. They'll reset a little bit. Rapp has been fantastic defensively for these Eagles so far. He leads the team with 10 steals in that first weekend. Warriors will just give up possession, and the teams will go back the other side. Maxwell Osborne driving in with the ball. He's going to find Franklin set. Franklin's struggling to get it. It ends up back with Osborne. He's going to skip it. It gets saved by Barrera Sanchez. Back the other way. Eagles have their defensive numbers. They're going to open up a little early this time to Colin Moore, who's going to walk it forward. Moore, plenty of space. Coming over to get him is Osborne. They try to set middle. Right there, a ball under, drawn by Will Tibbetts. Good job by him to slough off, and Biola might have another opportunity here. Trying to find Franklin was Carpenter. Franklin never saw it, and the ball goes back over to the Warriors. We're just about 4 minutes in here in this first period. 1-0 Eagles. Ball goes to Iguanata. Not a super dangerous spot, but he takes the shot, misses wide, and Carpenter will get a chance to throw that ball down. Rapp again opens out, releases early. That was a big focus on that first weekend, was just getting the ball into their field players' hands quicker. Ball gets taken away from Osborne there. That's a steal for Colin Moore, who pushes it back to the Westcliff keeper. Warriors ball now here on this near side. It's Colin Moore with it. Moore with plenty of space. Kenny Wolf has his hand up looking for a field block. They kick it back over to Iguanada. Back up top. That's Hammond who takes it from just about 6 meters out and scores. So Westcliff even things up on the goal by Hammond. Hammond had plenty of space. He just walked it forward a little bit and fired it past the outstretched arms of the keeper. Hammond had 1 goal, 1 assist, and drew a couple of exclusions in the last matchup between these two teams. So 3 minutes, 52 seconds left here in the first period. We had some substitutions go in on both sides. Tibbetts has the ball. Pushes it over to Rapp. Rapp able to get a foul. Wide open up top for the Eagles is Grasso. That one saved, but it looks like Will Tibbetts is able to come in possession of it. Tibbetts does, and he gets it back over to Matthew Rodriguez. Rodriguez walks it up a couple steps. Looking center. Nothing doing yet for the Eagles. John Grasso is going to be able to get the ball back. He finds Matthew Rodriguez in a real good spot. Rodriguez pumps and scores. Biola takes a 2-1 lead.
Number 7, Matthew Rodriguez. Assisting on the goal. Number 12, John Grasso.
Here's another look at that one as the Eagles take the lead once more. We do have our first shout-out coming in. This one coming from Kevin Nesbitt. Shout-out to Rancho Tsunami Water Polo Club alum Riley Bagley and the whole Biola team. Go Eagles and go Waves. Kevin, thank you so much for sending in the shout-out. If you guys want to be like Kevin, we love getting shout-outs all day long. It's eaglesbroadcast@gmail.com. Looking center, and we're going to have our first exclusion of the afternoon. That's going to be John Grasso getting excluded for Biola. It'll be a 6-on-5 opportunity for the Warriors. They were 3 of 8 on power plays in the last matchup between these two teams. Up top, that's Luca Silvestri. He passes it over to Gonzalez. They try to tip it in. Jordy Mitrovic does it. It ends up going off the field player, and it'll be Westcliff ball once more. Up to Iguanada, and Iguanada over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez with some space. Kenny Wolf right in front of him. That one's picked off by Rapp. So we were talking about Nolan Rapp really impressing us down in La Jolla. That's his 11th steal now of the season, and he really started to turn it on offensively on the second day for the Eagles, too. I think he's definitely going to be a player to watch for Rick Nordell's team as this year moves along. Kenny Wolf has the ball for Biola. Nothing doing in center just yet. Wolf able to draw a foul. Could have an opportunity here. That's Matt Vincent in the center. He does set Vincent. Vincent tries to kick it right back out. Instead, it's going to go to Colin Moore. And the Warriors are going to work their way back the other way. Just over 2 minutes left in this first quarter here. Iguanada all the way over to that far side. Walking it forward is Mark Marai, and the ball gets taken away by Rapp once more. Unfortunately, I think the ball hit the lane line right after he scooped it up, so possession will go right back to Westcliff. They'll get a new shot clock to work with. Again, if you're not familiar with water polo, they get 30 seconds each possession to work with. Iguanada up top. He walks it over to Moore. Moore takes a couple steps in, shoots it past the left hand of Carpenter, and things will be even up now. So a couple goals from right about the same distance out for the Warriors and pretty far out, just past 6 meters. So Eagles will take over possession with 1:53 left here in the first. Possession back to Grasso. Grasso is a freshman from El Dorado High School in Brea, California. He assisted that goal earlier. Pass it over to Tibbetts. Tibbetts working hard to find a foul. Finally gets it. He's going to put it over to Wolf. Wolf, a transfer for these Eagles, comes from Riverside Community College, where he was teammates with Dominic Hidalgo Valecio. Wolf scores there, and Biola is going to take a 3-2 lead.
Number 13, Kenny Wolf.
Love the emotion there from Wolf after he buries this one past to put his team up by one once more. As I mentioned, Kenny Wolf and Dominic Hidalgo Valecio, teammates over at Riverside Community College. Couple of two-year transfers here in this first year for Coach Rick Nordell. We have another offensive foul called this time, and Nolan Rapp's going to bring it back the other way for Biola. He's looking for an outlet pass. He skips it all the way forward up to Riley Bagley. Bagley, in his first game of the season, passes it over to Maxwell Osborne. Osborne fires it. He was inside, so it's going to get called as a turnover and go the other way. Ball wasn't live for a shot there, so Westcliff takes over the ball, and that's going to be Inigo Gonzalez working with it. He kicks it back up top to Colin Moore. Moore fires it over to Mark Marai, who takes a quick shot, and it's blocked wide. So Carpenter and the Eagles come back into possession of it. Carpenter finds Tibbetts. Tibbetts working forward. He's got Iguanada all over him. Foul is called. Passes it back to Rapp, who finds Hidalgo Valecio. Hidalgo's the one that scored the first goal in program history for Biola, as they had the luck of facing number 1 UCLA in the program's first ever game 2 weeks ago in La Jolla. That one kicked off Mitrovic, and Biola's going to have to surrender possession. 17 seconds left in the quarter. This should be the last possession here before we get a little break. Outlet pass goes over to Colin Moore. Moore works his way forward. He's going to be seeing Riley Bagley in front of him. Luke Franklin out on the perimeter playing some defense as the shot from Silvestri goes wide. Carpenter's going to have 1 second. He fires one long, and that will do it. 3-2 Biola at the end of the first period. We'll have a quick break, and we'll be right back to you. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us here today. Such an exciting day for Biola University. An exciting day to see these guys get in the pool. You know, Coach Nordell was putting in some hard work over the last year and a half to build a team, and it was exciting with the first games on the road a couple weeks ago, and now to get here at this pool and have the opportunity to play in front of a pretty big contingent of fans for a 1 p.m. weekday game is quite the experience. And, you know, it's great to have Westcliff here, also a first-year program. The sport of water polo is smaller than a lot of other NCAA sports, and so anytime a new team gets added, it's a good thing for the sport overall, and to have these two in such close proximity to one another is really going to be good. I think we could form a nice little rivalry for years to come. Now, today's broadcast is brought to you by Church and Casualty Insurance Agency. Church and Casualty Insurance Agency is California's largest insurer of houses of worship. Fellowship. Since 1983, they've been helping churches to master the unexpected. Find out more at www.ccia.com. Again, www.ccia.com. Thank you so much to Church and Casualty Insurance Agency for your generous sponsorship of Biola Athletics.
I'd like to give a shout out to the women's water polo team over here.
Oh, and we've got another shout out coming in. Says, "Go Eagles and Luke Franklin, we love you," from Grandma and Grandpa. Thank you so much for sending in that shout out. Hopefully Luke watches this back and hears that. We're getting ready for the quarter 2 sprint now. Will Tibbetts will get the call for Biola once more, and Colin Moore, who won that first sprint, will get the call for the Warriors.
With the sprint for Westcliff, Colin Moore and Will Tibbetts for Biola. Coming up. Here you go, second period.
Here we go. Quarter number 2 is underway. Tibbetts can't quite get there. Colin Moore is 2 for 2 on the sprints so far today. Ball kicks back and settles with Lucas Silvestri. Westcliff right at half pool. They start to move forward. That's Inigo Gonzalez getting the start for quarter number 2 for the Warriors team. Back to Gonzalez. Gonzalez back to Moore. You can tell Westcliff likes to play a lot through Moore. He's been touching the ball pretty much nonstop for them, and they've had nothing going in the center of the pool today. Been forced to shoot everything from the outside, which is exactly what Coach Rick Nordell stresses to this team, is don't give them the easy stuff right in front of the cage. Force those perimeter shots like that one from Silvestri that went wide. Kenny Wolf working the ball forward. He finds Tibbetts. Tibbetts gets fouled. Not just fouled, though. Exclusion coming for Inigo Gonzalez. That's going to be a 20-second power play for this Eagles team. Hidalgo Vallecillo works it back to Wolf. The two RCC Tigers working together in their 5th game together as Eagles. Wolf right up at top of point. He finds Maxwell Osborne. Osborne with a little bit of open space, and he finds it. Beautiful skip shot right under that right arm of the goalkeeper, and Biola doubles its lead to 4-2.
Assist on the goal for Biola, number 13, Kenny Wolf.
Beautiful. That's exactly where you want to shoot that ball. If you have that little bit of open space, you got to get the skip, and you got to get it right under that goalkeeper's arms. Excellent job there by Osborne to get it done and put his Eagles up 4-2. Osborne had a great game in the last time these two teams played. Probably his best game of that first weekend, as that's a steal for Will Tibbetts. Max had 2 goals, 2 assists, and drew 2 exclusions for the Eagles. He's a junior coming over from Long Beach City College, technically a sophomore eligibility-wise. He also spent some time at school at Long Beach State. Tibbetts, all the way on the right, draws it back to Hidalgo Vallecillo. He finds Kenny Wolf. Wolf with his defender all over him. Shot clock winding down, only 4 left. Hidalgo's going to probably have to dump it here. He does, and Biola will have to work back on defense pretty quickly. Scooping the ball up is Silvestri. He's able to find Norman. A little bit of open space here for the Warriors as they're a man up just briefly. Biola able to close it out. Colin Moore has no options because Kenny Wolf is great at getting his hand up to try for that field block. Skips the ball over to the far side. Finally something in the center, maybe, but nope. Nolan Rapp takes it away from Luca Silvestri, ending that threat. That pass skips a little too far away, so the Lord giveth and he taketh away right there, all in one sequence for Nolan Rapp as he gets the steal and the turnover, and ultimately that turnover turns into a goal. That'll be Lucas Silvestri who's able to cash in for the Warriors, and Westcliff gets just one step closer. Here's another look at that as the ball comes right in. Nothing Biola really could do defensively when you get the ball right there. Center, easy cheese for the Warriors, and now Biola's breathing room cut back down to 1. Osborne driving forward with it. Luke Franklin is, Matt Vincent is going to be in the center here now for Biola. Lots of space for Osborne. He can shoot from there. That's going to be another exclusion drawn. So after the first exclusion of the day goes on Biola, this is 3 in a row going to Westcliff. The Eagles have another power play opportunity. There's Josiah Brimage getting his first touch of this afternoon. Brimage fires it over to Kenny Wolf. Wolf pumps, and passes. Grasso shoots high up and over the cage. Nothing doing there on that power play opportunity for the Eagles. Josiah Brimage is an exciting story. He was a Biola student already when the program was announced. His dad works at Biola, and he played water polo, and it just so happened to work out that he could join the team when he was already at Biola. He's one of 2 such cases on this men's team, as Jonas Huckabee, also in his 3rd year at Biola, spent 2 years on the swim team and now is playing water polo, as we got an exclusion there on the Eagles. Huckabee, right after I talk about him, gets excluded, and it'll be a power play opportunity for these Warriors. Walking it forward and walking it forward and walking it forward. Field block there for Max Osborne. That was a hard shot from Mark Marai, and the Eagles defensively get bailed out. Mitchell Carpenter has Brimage open. Brimage never saw the ball there. He was rolling out already as the ball was in flight, and it's going to go back over to the Warriors. Good defensive sequence. Little bit of a miscue transitioning back for Biola. Such a new program, only 3 weeks of practice together in a pool for these guys. So every game, it's going to be important to get the film, talk about these things in practice, as that one is skipped home, and this game is now tied. Colin Moore skips it right under that left arm of Carpenter, and we're all square at 4. Skip shot proving lethal for both teams so far in this one. Wolf plays it over to Grasso. Grasso back up to Osborne, who works it back to Wolf. The ball movement already, you can tell from this Eagles team, is just vastly improved from the first weekend, where things weren't quite looking so snappy. Wolf gets high and shoots it high and wide, and possessional chains hands back over to Westcliff. Long pass up to Iguanada. He's got space. Huckabee is going to close it out. Goes over to Silvestri. Silvestri back over to Iguanada. They're now going to push it over to that left-hand side until they switch it back to Moore. Moore with Brimage in front of him. Brimage attacks. They are able to get the ball center, but the center could not get his hands on it. Instead, an exclusion called on Kenny Wolf, and it's a 6-on-5 for the Warriors. All the way over. They're going to work inside the 2-meter there to open it up. Nope, got to work it back over. Colin Moore switching it. Iguanada on it. Takes that deep shot. I don't know. That's the best shot in a 6-on-5 opportunity. You take 2 or 3 more passes. You can open something better. Good job by Carpenter getting in there, and Biola's going to work the other way. Kenny Wolf, and a great kite. He's from Temecula, California. He was an all-conference player at his college, RCC. This one is blocked up and over. That'll be a corner for the Eagles. He also had 3 varsity seasons at Great Oak, where he was team MVP and all league during his high school career. Osborne from Portland, Oregon, is where he played high school before coming back down to LBC. Sets it to Vincent with his shot and the score! Biola pulls ahead once more, 5-4, as Osborne sets up Vincent for the easy one. Perfect job setting that center pass. Too late, just a hair too late. Westcliff realized what was happening and sent some help over there. And the Eagles pull back ahead once more. Just like he did in the first weekend, it's almost 6-for-6 switches for Coach Rick Nordell as he changes out his guys. Rodriguez commits the foul there. Westcliff has nothing to do but try to swim it forward. Not ideal after the foul. Another one by Rodriguez, and ultimately the ball's going to just work its way into the hand of Will Tibbetts. That was kind of a strange sequence. Tibbetts didn't even look like he knew what was going on, but doesn't matter because his team ended up with the ball. Eagles have a little bit of an advantage here on the transition. That's Frank the Tank coming up with it, and it's blocked by Barrera Sanchez, and we have a timeout called by Westcliff. We'll take a quick break and be right back with you. All right, welcome back after that quick timeout. Here we are, 5-4 Biola. As has been the case throughout this season so far, the goals are coming from all over for the Eagles. It's not dominated by any one goal scorer. Matt Vincent has one. Matt Rodriguez has one. Kenny Wolf has one. Will Tibbetts has one. And Max Osborne has one. Westcliff able to try to set it into center. A foul is called. Just a regular foul, not an exclusion. Working back up to Callan Norman. Norman tries to set it up top with Lucas Silvestri, and it's going to be an offensive foul called inside on Jordy Mitrovic, and Biola will work back the other way. Carpenter looking for someone to outlet to. He finds Kenny Wolf. We did get a shout out that the audio is having a little bit of trouble. We do apologize for that. Sometimes with this headset, it does that. But who cares as Nolan Rapp scores for the Eagles. Set up by Kenny Wolf, who's dropping dimes all over the place for this BU team. It's 6-4 Biola. Not every day you get a guy wide open just about a meter in front of the goalkeeper, but able to get that pass in, and he converts it quickly for Biola to get back out to an extended lead. So Westcliff back on it. This is great to see from Biola. Able to get a lead, sustain a lead, then see the other team come back and then extend it out again. This isn't what was happening in the last matchup between these two teams. That pass is picked off there by Matt Rodriguez. He pulls up, is looking for someone to find. Yes, he's got someone wide open on the other side. That's Riley Bagley. Again, though, Bagley had his head down and didn't quite see it. And possession is going to change hands. Working back with it the other way is Lucas Silvestri. We're coming close to half time here. Last second shot. It's blocked into the corner, and we'll have a 5-minute break. Before we go to the halftime break, we'll get to a couple more shout-outs here. We do have a shout-out coming in. It says, great day for Biola University to host the first ever home game of Biola men's water polo. Looking forward to every game. We love you, Casey Kazanjian. from Papa, Mom, Taya, and Sayla. Thank you so much for the shout-out. One quick note, if we're ever pronouncing anyone's name incorrectly, please send us a shout-out and let us know. We'd love to get that corrected as we move forward. We do our best, but can't be perfect all the time. So thank you for the shout-out there. We have one more coming in. A shout-out to Chuck Campbell. Says, happy birthday, we love you, from Mom and Dad. That shout-out coming in from Logan Powell. Thank you so much for sending in those shout-outs. Again, it's a 6-4 ball game. We'll be back in just over 4 minutes. All right, welcome back. We're just about ready to get started with our third quarter here. At Splash La Mirada Regional Aquatic Center. Again, it's 6-4 Biola. Goals from Matt Vincent, Matt Rodriguez, Nolan Rapp, Kenny Wolf, Will Tibbetts, and Max Osborne. 4 goals for Westcliff come in, 2 from Casey Moore, 1 from Hammond, and 1 from Lucas Silvestri. Both teams took 15 shots in those first 2 periods. Biola made 40% of its 15 shots and went 1 for 1 on the power play. All right, we're back now for the opening sprint. It's going to be Jordy Mitrovic sprinting for Westcliff. It's Tibbetts again for the Eagles. Ball is in the pool, and it's going to be Biola winning the sprint for the first time. I guess the pool might be slanting left to right today because every sprint has been won from the left-hand side. Nolan Rapp working with the ball to open the quarter for the Eagles. And it's turned over quickly to Vincenzo Iguanata as Westcliff works the other way. Unfortunately, on your screen, we only have the options for first period and second period. We don't have third and fourth on our scoreboard. So we're just going to call it second half as that one is shot by Silvestri, tapped up and over for a corner throw for the Westcliff Warriors. Ball turned over there by Mitrovic. It's swiped by Kenny Wolf and given back to Mitchell Carpenter. Trying to figure a couple things out here at the table, so if you hear me stop talking for a little bit, that's what it is. This one shot up and over by Frank the Tank, and it's tipped out, and Westcliff will take over possession. Speaking of Frank the Tank, we get a shout-out coming in to Frank the Tank, Luke Franklin. It says, love that you called him that. It's what we called him on the high school team, too. So I'm glad we can keep things consistent here as that one's blocked out and Biola takes back possession. This shout-out goes to Luke Franklin and Mitchell Carpenter, who played with the Stein family's son on the high school team. Fantastic kiddos and water polo beasts, it says, as Hidalgo Vallecillo buries that one. And Biola takes a 7-4 lead. Quick look back at that goal. Ball drops right in front of Vallecillo. Nobody defending. It's a one-on-one opportunity pushed right past the goalkeeper. Back with it, trying to set center are the Warriors. That's Mitrovic in the middle. He kicks it back out to Silvestri. Silvestri moves it forward with his left hand, switches it back right, and finds his teammate. Silvestri from way out elevates, but does not celebrate as that one hits off the post and Biola regains possession. Offensive foul called. I think that'll be on Maxwell Osborne, and we'll kick back the other direction. A little bit of an advantage briefly maybe for the Warriors here as Osborne gets back. He's back now. They find an opening wide open as Mitrovic, but can't complete the pass. It goes up and over. Coming back out is Gonzalez. He passes it up to Iguanata. Gonzalez back to Iguanata. Dropping off is Frank the Tank. Switching over to the far side with Marai. Marai with some space in front of him before Kenny Wolf's hand. He tries to skip it, skips it out past that far post, and Carpenter's able to come up with it. As we mentioned in our last shout-out from the Stein family, Mitchell Carpenter and Luke Franklin were high school teammates up until this year. They played together over at Ukaipa High School, where the Thunderbirds made it to the CIF playoffs. Over on this side is Gonzalez. He shoots it right into center chest of Carpenter, who's able to corral the ball. Gets a rousing cheer from his teammates. He's surveying his options. His best option is Dom Hidalgo Vallecillo, who almost swims over the ball. able to come back with it, sprinting down with it now. He's going to have an opportunity to maybe get a shot off. He does like to shoot. He does. Hits it right off the chest of the keeper. Opportunity maybe for a backhand by Franklin. Nope. Instead, possession goes back to the Warriors. We're at 4 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the third period. Again, if you're new to water polo, we play 4 8-minute periods here. Each team has a 30-second shot clock to work with every time down the pool. Gonzalez works it forward. He finds Marai. Marai back to Gonzalez. That's Rapp with his hand up, trying to get a foul in the center. Can't get it. Ball gets turned over instead to Mitchell Carpenter. Carpenter finds Tibbetts. Tibbetts looking to get it to center to Franklin. Franklin working hard to draw the exclusion, and he gets it. And a timeout quickly called by head coach Rick Nordell. So that was Franklin who drew the exclusion there. He's really good at that. He leads the team with 9 exclusions drawn so far this year. That will be a 10th exclusion drawn by him. Coach Nordell's going to take some time to talk to his team, maybe set up the offense a little bit to try to maximize on this 6-on-5 opportunity. As we mentioned it, they were just 2 for 8 on those opportunities the last time these two teams played, and that made a big difference. They can increase that percentage to anywhere around 50 to 60%. That's going to be really, really good for a water polo team at this level. It's not quite as easy money as it might be in a high school game or even some of the club games these guys will play in. But you should convert more often than not on your 6-on-5 opportunities. So we'll see what they get here, see what they talked about at the timeout and are going to set up with. I think the ball's going to start back with Mitchell Carpenter. He's going to be just behind the center of the pool. He's going to pass it up to Max Osborne. Osborne walks it forward a little bit and tosses it over to Hidalgo Vallecillo. Nolan Rapp here on this near side works right up to the 2-meter mark. Pass it back to Hidalgo Vallecillo, who finds Osborne. Osborne back to Dom. Dom surveying his options. Not much, really. Good job by the Warriors to set up the defense here. Still, Eagles are going to need to find a pass. We're back level. Kenny Wolf up to Dom. He's probably going to have to shot clock down to 2 off the post. And it's going to be Barrera Sanchez that comes up with it. So not what Nordell and the Eagles were hoping for in that 6-on-5 opportunity. Thankfully, they do still have that 3-goal buffer. Ooh, they're going to be tested a little bit here, though, as it's an exclusion called on Dominic Hidalgo Vallecillo. Now it's going to be Preslav Dipov who calls the timeout. We'll take a quick break and be right back to you with a 6-on-5 opportunity for the Warriors. Well, we were talking a little bit about how Carpenter and Franklin were teammates at Yucaipa High School. Both players were all-league first-team players as they led the Thunderbirds to CIF playoffs. Mitchell Carpenter also ran cross-country and played rugby at Yucaipa. And Luke Franklin, on the club side, is a Junior Olympics gold medalist. Nice to have both of them coming in as freshmen to really launch this program under Rick Nordell. It'll be fun to see them build together over these next 4 years, along with the rest of this freshman class. And no one really if you're talking eligibility, past junior year here. So these guys will all be together for at least the next 2 years. All right, Westcliff has had their conversation. Now we'll see what they can set up on the power play. Got 3 goals to get back here. They scored 10 times the first time these two teams met. Biola's defense stepped up, has them on pace for fewer than that with 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in the third period. Ball with Barrera Sanchez. He passes it on in. It's going to come all the way back to point at Mark Marai. Marai with it. He's switching it back over. Good movement from the Warriors. Those quick, crisp passes that don't hit the water are exactly what you want to see. Clears it over. That one's going to hit the post. Woo! It looked like it might have worked its way in, but no call from the officials, and Biola escapes that one as Carpenter narrowly scoops it out of trouble. What a pass there! Fantastic find from Matt Rodriguez over to Nolan Rapp, who buries the one-timer. And the Eagles have doubled up Westcliff, 8-4 here. What a pass there by Matthew Rodriguez. My goodness, take another look at that. Excellent finish over there from Rapp, too, to be able to kind of off balance, get the ball, and score it all in one motion. And the Eagles are up 8-4. Working the ball forward is Inigo Gonzalez. He's up point for this Warriors team. Grasso on defense now, and it's going to get worked back into the corner. Silvestri tries to draw a foul, no luck there. Woo! Didn't end up needing it as he kicks it in right at the upper far corner. Nothing Carpenter or the Eagles could do there as that one kicks in off the post and makes it 8-5. Great shot there by Silvestri. So Carpenter has the ball. Eagles are going to work it back the other way. I want to let you know we're equal opportunity shout-outs here at Biola Athletics. If you're rooting for the Eagles or for the Warriors, we'd love to hear from you. Our email is eaglesbroadcast@gmail.com. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from, who you're rooting for as another exclusion comes up here. Warriors take their time getting out of the pool on those exclusion calls. Gonzalez questions it a little bit and now finally swims into the exclusion area. Matt Rodriguez working it forward. Oh, good play to tip that out by Callum Norman. Good disruptive defense on that 6-on-5 opportunity. All the way up to Rapp now. Rapp's going to kick it over to Grasso. One-timer, and he scores it. 9-5 Eagles off another one-time shot. Good long passing. You can tell the Eagles have worked on that this week as getting the ball in the air was a bit of a struggle at that last tournament. Now it's catch and shoot, easy money. 9-5 Eagles. This is going to be Edmund Barnett working the ball forward for Westcliff. Barnett over to Moore. Moore with Grasso all over him. Grasso still there. Gets it back to Barnett. Tries to draw a foul. Matt Vinson's not fouling. Grasso, some fantastic defense by the Eagles here. Yeah, that was not the place you wanted to pass it to, but Warriors get bailed out as Rodriguez didn't realize he wasn't swimming away with a steal. Instead, there was a foul called, and he gets excluded. So 6-on-5 opportunity now for the Warriors. Up top is Silvestri. He's got that cannon. We've already seen it. There's another goal scorer there. It's going to get passed out by Iguanada. On the inside, and a field block by Bagley. We mentioned it, this is Bagley's first time in the pool this season in the competition. So far, so good in the minutes that he's had out there. Matt Rodriguez tries to set it center for Vincent. Vincent couldn't quite get his hips up and over it, and the ball's going to get given away to Edmund Barnett. Barnett Throws it behind his teammate, and Nolan Rapp's going to come up with the steal. Biola works the other way. Looks like numbers are pretty even on both sides. Not a huge advantage, although John Grasso could get open here quickly. He turns around, nothing to it. Nolan Rapp's going to get the ball from Carpenter. Rapp turns it over now to Barnett, who swims the other way. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last second shot coming from Moore. It's a skip shot, scooped up and saved by Carpenter. At the end of 3, Biola 9, Westcliff 5. All right, we're getting back now for the final period here. 8 minutes left on the clock. Biola will come into this with a 9-5 advantage. 8 minutes away from what could be the first win in program history. That sure would feel great on this home opener today. We're right back here tomorrow. We've got the kind of perennial conference champion UC San Diego Tritons in the pool with a 1 p.m. first sprint. We'll have all the action for you right here on our athletics YouTube. You can find the links to the live stream and the live scoring at athletics.biola.edu. But right now, we got 8 more minutes of this one coming at you. Will Tibbetts is going to get the sprint once more for Biola. He's going to be going against Colin Moore for Westcliff. Nolan Rapp leading the way. He's got 2 goals for Coach Nordell's Biola team. Bunch of other guys with 1. So Westcliff's going to take the sprint again. They'll go 3 for 4 on the sprints so far in this one. Of course, that's not the most important number on the scoreboard. Right now, that's goals, and it's 9-5 in favor of the Eagles. Working it forward to Moore. Moore, pump fakes. He's going to bring it back up top to Mark Marai. Marai with some space. Steady decides to kick it out. That's Moore on it again. Moore finds Iguanata. Iguanata back to Marai. Marai again with some space, but it's really hard when Kenny Wolf is the one who's defending you. He is so good at getting that hand up there for the field block. Really takes away all your options. Him combined with the 6'6" Mitchell Carpenter in goal. Pretty good combination. New shot clock here for the Warriors. That one was tipped out for a corner throw. Iguanata working with it. Tibbetts sloughing off of him a little bit. That one pushed over to Marai, who now has Luke Franklin guarding him. Franklin sloughing back to try to take away the center. He comes out just a bit. They make a pass into center, and that's going to be a kick out. Excluding Maxwell Osborne. So power play opportunity here for the Warriors. Silvestri with it. He's going to push it over to the far side. I think that's Marai. Marai tries to find it center. Jordy Mitrovic. Good defense by Dom Hidalgo Valesio. Foul is called. They find Silvestri again. Kenny Wolf is on him, and Silvestri is going to convert it for the goal. So first goal of this fourth period goes to the Warriors as they get back within 3. Here's the shot from Silvestri to even it up. That's the third of this game from Lucas Silvestri. He had 4 in the first meeting between these two teams a couple weeks ago. Valesio finds his teammate Wolf. Going to have an exclusion called here. I think it's on Iguanada. Yes, it is. He's headed out. He fouled Will Tibbetts. Osborne over to Tibbetts, back to Osborne. Osborne with a little bit of space. Instead, he puts it up at the point with Hidalgo Valesio. Over to Kenny Wolf. Wolf could take a shot from here. He does, and he converts it. So Dom to Kenny, and Biola gets to double digits. Here's another look at that as Biola gets into double digits for the second time in program history. The next goal, if the Eagles can find another, would be a new program best. Again, this is the fifth game in program history, so we'll have a lot of program bests throughout the year. Way out with it was Colin Moore. He skips it ahead on to just about nobody. That ball gets passed over to Gonzalez. Instead, it's taken away by Will Tibbetts, who passes it back to Mitchell Carpenter. Carpenter over to Kenny Wolf. Wolf finds Maxwell Osborne. You can really see the leadership of these two-year college transfers coming into play here today as Osborne, Hidalgo Valesio, Kenny Wolf have been right at the heart of a lot of what's going right for Biola. There's Dominic there. He tries to set it center to Franklin. Franklin was getting it from both sides, and the ball will go back to the Warriors goalkeeper. Just over 5.5 minutes left here in this game. Kenny Wolf, fantastic defense there on Moore. We're going to see an exclusion. I think that's going to be it's going to be Josiah Brimage kicked out here. Silvestri passes it over to the far side. Not a good pass. Callum Moore is going to have some work to do. He moves it back up to Mark Marai, who finds Silvestri. Great save by Mitchell Carpenter. Silvestri thought he had a fourth. It was a good shot, but Carpenter able to get his palm on it, and he finds Maxwell Osborne, who's got tons of space and numbers on the weak side. He passes it over to Tibbetts. Tibbetts in a really good spot to shoot, and he converts it. Biola leads 11-6. Will Tibbetts gets Biola to 11 for the first time in program history, and they're back up by a 5 spot. Four minutes and 40 seconds left here. Warriors deep into the corner. That's Jake Eisen with the ball. First time we've said his name today. He passed it back to Carden Chavez, also newly inserted for the Warriors. Going in center, and it works. They draw an exclusion. Vincent will go out. Another kind of... It looks like Westcliff's been in the weight room a little bit too much because a lot of their passes are going just a foot or two farther than they really want them to go. And there's another example of that as it's going to be scooped up by Silvestri. Silvestri from pretty far out, that'll be maybe 9-10 meters. He passes it down into the corner, back up to number 19, that's Chavez. Chavez into the corner for Eisen. Eisen has to skip it. It'll be a field block there for John Grasso. Biola's going to work back the other way. We would like to issue one correction to an earlier shout-out, but after this opportunity for the Eagles where Will Tibbetts doubles it up again. 12-6 Biola. That was a quick sequence with an exclusion on the drive down and that quick one-time shot. Biola up by 6 with just over 3.5 minutes to play. Will Tibbetts really starting to feel it on the offensive end. So earlier we got a shout out from Logan Powell saying happy birthday to Chuck Campbell. Well, it's Chuck Campbell's birthday tomorrow. So we will wish Chuck a happy birthday tomorrow again. And we got another shout out coming in. Mary Moore shouting out saying hi to Colin Moore from the Warriors, a mom in Texas. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us for this broadcast today. We've been really impressed by Colin Moore. So we appreciate you taking the time to send in a shout out. That one back up top. Pass mishandled a little bit by Callum Norman. He's going to have to shoot or dump. He does shoot, and that's going to be another save for Mitchell Carpenter. Carpenter up to 11 saves now. That's exactly what he averaged last weekend. He had 44 saves over the course of 4 games. Biola is going to be shorthanded on this trip back down the pool. Or excuse me, no, it's just an offensive foul, not an exclusion. So we're even strength. That's Iguanada with the ball. Iguanada back up to Norman. Norman over to Silvestri Chavez. Tries to set center. Again, nothing doing. Biola doing a fantastic job of setting that up today. Yusuf El Desaki, though, makes him pay from the outside. He says, who needs to get the ball in center? I'll just score it from here. And Westcliff pulls back within 5. It's 12-7. 2 minutes and 38 seconds left on the clock. We'll see if Biola Eagles start to change the strategy a little bit and suck up every last bit of this 30 seconds on the clock during every possession, or we'll see if they just keep the pedal to the metal and try to keep scoring. Hidalgo Valesio with pressure all over him. He's able to get the foul. They have to slough off a bit. He's going to find Bagley. Bagley looking center for Franklin. It goes too far. Silvestri takes possession, and Westcliff will work back the other way. That's Silvestri. Tries to find center. Bagley defending Chavez. There's a foul. Kick it back to the perimeter. El Desaki on it. Good job by Osborne to get all over him, but then there's an exclusion called on the inside. That's going to be Riley Bagley getting excluded. We're going to have a timeout called by the Warriors. They'll talk it over because they have to go ahead and convert on this opportunity. With just 122 seconds left, they need 5 goals. Oh, perfect. I am so thankful. We just got another shout out. Loretta sent in a shout out with Casey's last name. It looks like it's Kazanjin. Casey Kazanjin. I don't know. It's going to be a hard one for me. I'm going to try my best. Thank you for sending that in. She says, congratulations to BU Men's Water Polo, the coaches and the mighty men of Polo. Thank you so much for tuning in and sending a shout out to us. We'll be back in just a second with the final 2 minutes and 2 seconds of this one. Yep. It just shows last names.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. Then tomorrow's game on that 2 p.m. Anything else you want to say?
No, just come on back tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Is Bethany here?
I don't know.
Usually can see her.
I feel like she would have come over here and checked in and said hi if she was. Stuff might have come up on campus. All right, so it'll be a 6-on-5 opportunity here for Westcliff. Starting back at Barrera Sanchez. He's going to set it up to Silvestri. Silvestri pushes it wide and comes back to the point. He finds this other side. It's Iguanada. Nothing doing over there down in the corner that close for Iguanada. Passes it back over. Now up to their last goal scorer. That's El Desaki. Finds Silvestri, and a good opportunity there for Mitrovic. That's really the first time we've seen him with a wide open chance like that today. It hits the post and comes on back. Another shot and another field block for Biola. That was Colin Moore, and Huckabee, along with Brett Hankey, were right there to cut that off. The outlet pass is going to go to Hankey. He's going to walk forward with it. No reason to rush here. 1 minute, 21 seconds left for this Biola team. It's 12-7. That ball is cut off by Lucas Silvestri, and Westcliff is going to take possession once more. We're almost to that 1 minute mark. Silvestri pushes it forward. I think that's Callum Norman on the ball. It is. Norman looking for an option. He finds El Desaki. Franklin all the way out up top on defense there. It's set inside to Mitrovic. There's going to be a kickoff on Dom Hidalgo Valesio. So another opportunity as Biola is going to be shorthanded for 20 seconds. Good facilitating by Norman, who's up top here with loads of space. He decides to pass it over to Iguanada, who buries it, and it's a 12-8 ball game.
Assisting on the goal, number 7, Callum Norman.
It's good execution on that 6-on-5 opportunity. Just a little bit more than one possession left here as the game clock's at 33. 12-8 Eagles. That one passed back to Carpenter. He's got Maxwell Osborne waiting back with him, also Hidalgo Valesio. They're just going to dump it off to whoever doesn't have a defender near him. No one's coming up to Carpenter. Carpenter passes it over to Osborne. Osborne's going to float with it. Just a 2-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Back to Carpenter. Carpenter over to Dom. Dom just past the middle of the pool. 5 seconds left in this game. That one's going to be dumped down into the corner, and we're going to get a timeout. We'll have 2 seconds added back to the game clock. It'll be timeout, and Westcliff will take possession. We'll be right back with you. While we're at this break, we do have one more shout-out coming in. It says, shout out to Kenny, Dom, and Vincenzo, RCC Tigers for life, from Sosa, Thomas, Norbert, and Trevor. Thank you so much for the shout-out. And that will do it. Time expires before the shot gets off. A nice little backhand at the buzzer there from Silvestri. But Biola University comes down with the first win in program history. The Eagles answer back from last week's 10-7 loss to these Warriors with a resounding and quite dominant 12-5 victory. First college coaching victory for Coach Rick Nordell. First win for Biola. We're so glad that you were able to join us. Hey, we had so much fun. Let's do it again tomorrow, huh? We got the UCSD Tritons coming in here at La Mirada Splash. At 1 p.m. is our first sprint. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Neil Morgan. We'd love to have you join us next time. Have a great rest of your day.